Hello to all, I am Anne POSZWA and I will briefly present you a work entitled Impact of Past Charcoal Activities on Forest Soils. This work was realized by a pluridisciplinary team composed by 5 colleagues from the LIEC laboratory, 1 colleague associate to LIEC who works also at INRAP, and 1 colleague from GeoResource. This work was funded by DREAMS and Othello projects. The context of our work is linked to a geographic area marked by an historical industrial activity. This is the beach region located in the north of the Vosges Mountains. There is a military camp near beach. Apart from the military activities, as you can see on the map, the whole area to the west is occupied by forest and there is little industrial or agricultural activities. But in the past, at least since the 16th century, there was an intensive use of wood resource to power forges. Currently, numerous old charcoal production platforms are still visible. They mark the landscape and modify the slopes, which are more irregular with flattened man-made areas. And on these platforms, the charcoal residues form a specific unit, which can be up to 40 centimeters thick at the soil surface. As with 4 tons of wood, we can produce 1 ton of charcoal, but we make also gas, wood tar, including polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, and we produce ashes. Then the objectives of our study is to estimate the heritage of this past activity on the current soil properties. We developed the project to answer 3 main questions. Do charcoal production activities influence soil evolution and quality? Does it change soil structurations, nutrient content, or could it have caused pollution through polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons and plant tar production? The second question is there an effect of charcoal aging? And the third question, has charcoal a specific geochemical fingerprint? We will present here the results obtained in 2 investigated sites. One, named CHAMP 6, is located in the forest of Mutterhaus, and datation of charcoal suggests that the charcoal production platform was created during 18th century. The second site's name, Noy 45. Charcoal datation suggests that this platform could have been made during the 16th century and used during the 18th century too. On each site, 3 soils were described from pits. 1 soil upstream the platform, 1 soil within the platform, and a least soil downstream the platform. All distinct units were separated according to depth and sampled for analysis. We combined different approaches to analyze the soils. Thin sections allowed to make microscopical description in order to precise soil structural evolution, focusing on charcoal aspect and distribution, soil microstructure, texture, pedophyte, soil chemical properties evolution was estimated by comparing physicochemical parameters of soils within and around the charcoal production platforms. Main parameters measured are texture, pH, cation exchange capacity, nutrient concentrations, specific surface area. And finally, Organic geochemical analysis allowed to specify the content of polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons and to verify the potential pollution. Then, the distribution of the 16 main molecules was studied in order to highlight specific patterns originate of charcoal production. We will present the results in 4 main parts. In the first part, we describe soil profiles. Natural soil characteristics are here illustrated with soil upstream the platform. In the left, soils of CHAM 6 and on the right, soils of NOI 45. On each side, soils have similar profiles and microstructure. They are constituted by 3 horizons with bioturbation in the H1 layer. The H2 is a structural horizon and the H3 corresponds to the parent material, here a slope deposits on sandstone. Both soils have also similar chemical property, a low pH, a low cation exchange capacity, and a low exchangeable calcium content. They both can be classified as allocrysol. NOI 45 is slightly more acidic. Now the presentation of anthropogenic soils in charcoal platforms. Both soils have thick black unit with similar microstructure, rich in big charcoals. NOI 45 seems richer in fragmented charcoals. The profile at CHAM 6 is more developed. This is mainly due to a particular unit H1. Phytoliths and fossilized organic matter observed in thin section suggests that we have here the surface of an ancient soil buried below the man-made platform. The second part of our results illustrates the soil's adsorption capacity. We present here graphs with the percentage of clays and sands according to depth to upstream soils in green, soil from platform in black, and downstream soils in orange. CHAM 6 is still on the left and NOI 45 on the right. We can notice that in each side, whatever the soil, the texture is sandy. The very few clay contents indicates that there are few mineral reactive components. Furthermore, no significant difference in soils texture can be seen within and around the charcoal production platform. The same type of graphs illustrates here the percentage of carbon according to depth for upstream soils, soils from platform in black and downstream soils in orange. Natural upstream soils surface layers contains 3 to 6% of carbon. NOI 45 is slightly richer. On CHAM 6, soils of the platforms contains higher carbon content, but at NOI 45, no significant difference was observed in soils within and around the platform. This suggests no or poor effect of charcoal on the carbon content. This is a bit strange considering the abundance of charcoals, but we suspect a methodological problem leading to an underestimation of carbon in charcoal. Now, again, in the same type of graph are presented 2 important parameters translating adsorption capacity. One is the cation exchange capacity, and the second one is the surface specific area. You can see that in natural soils, both parameters have low values. On CHAM6, soils of the platforms have a higher cation exchange capacity linked to their higher carbon content, but at NOI 45, no significant difference was observed in soil within and around the platform. And at both sides, there is no difference in the surface specific area. Then, surprisingly, this suggests no or small. In this third part, we focused on nutrients in soils, indicating the potential fertilization which could have occurred during charcoal production. The graph presents the exchangeable calcium concentrations in soils according to depth and the sum of all alkaline and alkaline earth elements or base cations. In natural soils, calcium and other base cations contents are very low. NOI is slightly richer. There is a significant calcium content increase in soils of CHAM6 platform compared to soils around, but no difference in soils within and around NOI platform. This suggests that at CHAM6 there is a possible effect of ashes during charcoal production on current calcium content of soil. Linked to this positive effect, the pH and saturation rate of soils in platform CHAM6 are significantly higher than upstream and downstream soils. A small effect seems perceptible at the surface of soils in platform NOI 45. At CHAM6, therefore, there is a positive effect of charcoal production on soil chemical fertility. Very quickly, here are the nitrogen and phosphorus concentration in soils within and around platform CHAM6 and NOI 45. There is no clear effect of charcoal production on N and P contents in current soils. Last part of the results concerns the study of organic compounds on search of a potential residual repollution. The graph presented illustrates the total content of 16 polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons in soils within and around platforms CHAM6 and NOI 45. In each soil, the values are low in soil surface and they decrease with depth. This suggests no vertical transfer of pH. The similar content of pH within and around platforms CHAM6 and NOI 45 indicates that in current soils there is no trace of an ancient organic pollution created during charcoal production. These graphs are slightly different. They represent the distribution of the 16 pH in soils organomineral layers of upstream soils in green at CHAM6 on the left and NOI 45 on the right. Distribution of pH in upstream soils are similar at CHAM6 and NOI 45. pH with 5-6 cycles are well represented. This would be the signature of a current regional diffuse pollution heating trafficked industry. Below appears the specific distribution of pH in soils within the platform. pH with 5-6 cycles are not anymore represented, but there is a peak of phenanthrene present on the two sides. This would represent a charcoal-specific signature. These results indicate that there is still a trace of specific organic products made during charcoal production. Now the conclusion of our work concerning soil's properties in the platform production site. At both sites, charcoal are fragmented and influence soil surface layer evolutions, but they have no or very poor effect on soil adsorption capacity. This explains perhaps why we found no effect on pollutant retention. Charcoal have a specific signature linked to pH distribution, which could be used as a tracer of origin. At one site, we observe a persistent, strong positive effect of historical ashes production on calcium content and pH. Nevertheless, we have no evidence of an aging effect of charcoals. Neither we have evidence of lateral redistribution of charcoals or other products. Therefore, in the northern Vosges forest, historical charcoal production seems to currently affect soil's pH and calcium content only very locally. To complete our work and validate our observation, other sites should be taken into account. To be able to generalize our results, other sites on different geological substrate should be considered, and to better understand soil transformation by charcoal production activities and aging effects, it could be interesting to study a current experimental charcoal production platform. Thank you for your attention.